What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you all of the ball carrier moves for Madden 20. How to juke, how to spin, how to stiff arm, all of the important moves that you need to use in the run game to get extra yards, or even when you catch the ball in the open field. These will help you break tackles, fake out defenders, and get a lot more yards on every play. And with the new abilities this year, these moves are more important than ever, so it's very important that you know how to perform each and every one of them. Being a good ball carrier is one of the most important things about winning Madden games. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to become a better ball carrier. Now hold on just a second. While we're on the topic of carrying balls, which is something I'm sure many of you here can relate to, right before we get into today's tutorial, we need to talk about today's video sponsor, MANSCAPED. If you have that special someone, you already know that you gotta keep it clean and trim below the waist. And if you've ever trimmed down there before, I'm certain that you have the battle scars to prove it. But Manscaped has changed all of that. If you don't know about Manscaped, they are the only men's brand that is dedicated to below the waist grooming and hygiene. Their Perfect Package 2.0 kit comes complete with everything you need to make manscaping safe and easy. The kit comes with their signature product, the Lawnmower 2.0, a waterproof trimmer with a 6,000 RPM motor equipped with skin-safe technology so you never have to fear those nicks or snags ever again. Look, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I was skeptical before I tried it out for myself. Anytime you bring anything with a blade near your gonads, there's definitely cause for concern. I can't count the times in the past that I've made that one false move and boom, now my junk is literally bleeding. But with Manscaped's Lawnmower 2.0, a product that was actually created by aerospace engineers, I no longer have to fear those nicks and snags when I'm cleaning up before date night. The replaceable ceramic blade uses skin-safe technology, which keeps you from getting cut, and that is the best feature of the product in my opinion. And if that's not enough for you, the kit also comes with a slew of other items that most men have never considered using down there, but most probably should, like the Crop Preserver, which is a 24-hour moisturizing deodorant for, yes, you guessed it, your balls. The kit comes with an all-natural spray-on body toner and refresher, grooming tools, and much more. If you're looking for the perfect tools for your family jewels, click the link below in the description and use code ERIC20 for a 20% off plus free shipping. Your balls will thank you. So first up are the Juke Moves, which I think are the best type of ball carrier move this year. I think the juke is king this year. It's very easy to make defenders miss with this, especially if you have a guy with high juke ratings. The first juke is just the regular standard juke. You do this by flicking the right joystick left or right, whichever direction you want to juke. This is the one that I use the most often and I think is the easiest to make defenders miss with. The second type of juke is going to be more of a jump cut type of juke. You're going to do this by holding the left trigger or the L2 button while also flicking the right joystick to the left or to the right. It's going to make them kind of jump cut a little bit harder, and that's just one of the modifiers for the juke ball carrier move. And then the last one is going to be holding both triggers or both L2 and R2 while juking left or right. This is going to be a little bit quicker of a juke, it kind of speeds the juke up a little bit, which is also good. Now, you also have players that have jukebox abilities like Saquon, Barkley, Tariq Cohen, and Melvin Gordon. These guys are going to juke much faster, as you can see. Their juke moves are a lot faster than the regular running backs in the game, and these guys are much harder to tackle when they're performing these juke moves. As you can see how quick, Saquon Barkley is jumping side to side there. So if you use one of those three guys, you're going to make a lot of people miss even more often. And then there's also Odell Beckham and Stephon Diggs, who also have this ability, and they're going to really be hard to tackle in the open field. As you can see there, those are the 5 players currently in the game as of the making of this video that have the jukebox ability. And here we're just going to show a couple clips pulling it off against actual defenders, and you can see sometimes it just takes that one juke move and you're taking the ball all the way to the house, and it's just all about timing. Right when you get them on that angle and you flick the joystick to the inside or to the outside, whichever way you want to juke, you can really make people miss. Now up next is the spin move, which has been really good in Madden for a while. It's not as good this year as last year, but it is still a good move. So you have the regular spin, which is just the B or circle button, and this is good, especially with those players that actually have a spinning ability, which we'll get to in a second. But that's just the regular spin, and then the next spin is going to be the steerable spin, which you hold both triggers or L2 and R2 while also pressing the circle or B button. This just allows you to steer the spin a little bit more precisely. And now, as you can see, Saquon Barkley, again, he's another one of those players that has a spinning ability, and you can see how much quicker his spin move is than the other running back like Alvin Kamara. The 3 guys that have this ability right now are Barkley, Le'Veon Bell, and Christian McCaffrey. These guys are going to be better to spin with than anybody else, but as you can see, even a guy like Kamara can still make a defender miss. You just want to get him on that angle, kind of line him up, and then you want to spin back to the inside and just really make them look silly. Up next are the hurdles. Now, this isn't something I use a whole lot. There's a time and a place for it, but basically you have 2 types of hurdles. The first is the regular hurdle, which you do this by just pressing triangle or the Y button on Xbox. It's all you have to do is just tap that button. And then you have a little bit more of a modified hurdle, which you get this by holding the left trigger or L2 and also tapping the Y or triangle button. And that's how you can jump over people a little bit easier. Up next, we have hesitation. So the regular, just plain hesitation in the game, you get this by just tapping the L2 button or the left trigger. You just tap it and you can see how he kind of like stutter steps. This move in particular, it doesn't usually, it's not the most successful move in the world. I don't really pull this out too often. I try to hesitate myself personally just on the joystick, but that is a way you can do it. And then here you have a different type of hesitation, which is more of like a cutback, which you do this by pressing the right joystick down. It's kind of like a juke and like a step back in one where they kind of hop back a little bit. Now you have the modified versions of these as well. So if you hold the left trigger or the L2 button and then press back on the joystick, you could see he does more of a hard stop. And this one actually works pretty decently. You can get guys to kind of run by you if you time it right, and then you can keep going once they run by you. And then here you hold both triggers or L2 and R2 and then flick back on the joystick. And this is a little bit more kind of like a little bit of a shimmy back step, not one that I use too often, not one that I personally feel works too well. But here you're gonna see a clip here of doing just the left trigger and back on the joystick. It's kind of like the little cut back, kind of a step back juke. This one is the one that I find works the best of the hesitations, and this is the one that I will pull out from time to time to try to make a guy miss. Up next is the truck stick. Now this is really good with those bigger backs, and it's very easy to pull off. It's been in Madden forever. All you do is flick the right joystick up. You want to try to time this perfectly with the defender. Flick the right stick up and you can run them over and get extra yards. So you're going to see right here with Leonard Fournette, as we're going to lower our shoulder, we truck through the safety and we pick up some extra yards. Gonna watch it back here one more time. You can see running through the safety. You definitely want to make sure you have a guy with a high trucking rating, a guy that's got 85 plus truck, in the 90s if possible, and those are going to be the best guys to do that with. The stiff arm is really good this year, specifically guys that have the stiff arm ability, but just to do a regular stiff arm, you just want to press the A button, or if you were on PlayStation, I believe it is the X button, and you just kind of want to make sure to time this right when you're getting by the defender, and you can really push guys off this year and really get crazy. But you can see here how we kind of didn't time it right. We just held, the button way too early, and our arm was just sticking out there, and we weren't really able to get, any broken tackles there. But you could see here, we don't actually throw him to the ground like we did in the earlier clip, but this still allowed us to fall forward for an extra few yards, and that's something that you can do really well with that stiff arm. You might not throw him off of you, but you might, make yourself fall forward a little bit because of that. And here you can see Nick Chubb, his stiff arm ability is activating. There are a few running backs in this game that have a stiff arm ability that's called armbar, and these guys are going to be more successful when they use the stiff arm. As you can see, we actually threw 2 guys off of us with Nick Chubb there. The guys that have this in the game right now are Gurley, Ezekiel, Elliott, Le'Veon Bell, and Nick Chubb. So if you like the stiff arm, you want to use some of those guys. Next, I'm going to show you how to dive with the running back. This is really good for trying to get that first down or hit the pylon when you got a defender by you. You just want to press the X or the square button, and that is how you will dive with the running back, as you can see, reaching out for the pylon there or for the goal line to try to get in. That's going to be a lot better to use, obviously, if there's defenders around you. And last, what I want to talk about is how to go down and give yourself up, because sometimes you run up to a big hitter and you just want to go down and not risk taking a hit or fumbling. To do this, you want to hold both triggers, or L2 and R2, and you want to tap the square or the X button. The square button on PlayStation, the X button on Xbox. And you can see here, we're going to run up to Keanu Neal. He has an enforcer ability. We don't want to risk taking a hit, so we just give ourselves up and go down. Yes, we could try to juke him, but because he's got that ability, he has a better chance of landing that hit, so we wanted to make sure to go down and not take that mean of a hit. Now here at the end, just going to kind of show you how you can string some of these moves together. If you use the joystick to kind of go back and forth on it, you can kind of chain some of these jukes together. You can hesitate a little bit, or you can like juke and then spin out of a juke. These are some other things that you want to get in practice mode and try. As you can see here with Kamara, we're just trying to like juke, kind of hesitate, juke, and then spin out of a juke. You can do all of these things if you kind of get familiar with it and learn how to chain these moves together, and you can really create some cool highlights in the open field by doing this. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys next time.